Hello everybody, hope you're enjoying your Wednesday, or for the later part of this Wednesday when this video will be up. Welcome to my latest Blu-ray DVD update video. I know it's been a very long time since I've last done one of these, but let's cut to the chase right now. First up, I have 3 Criterion Blu-rays to show off that I bought in the past month. This one I recently got last week, and originally this is a movie I actually showed in a DVD update a while ago, and then a month later I found out that it was getting the Criterion treatment, and I just had to buy it because it's one of my top 25 favorite movies of all time, and that is being John Malkovich. Now, I've explained my love for this movie before, for how wildly original, creative, and very smart compared to most dramedies that are made these days. I absolutely love this movie, and it's one of the several reasons why Charlie Kaufman's one of my top 2 favorite screenwriters of all time, the other being Aaron Sorkin. But god damn, this is one of the best movies I've ever seen, because the fact that Charlie Kaufman came up with the concept of how there's a portal that you can go through and you go inside John Malkovich and see everything that he does for a few minutes and then get tossed onto the New Jersey Turnpike afterwards, that is just genius right there. You can already accept that this is a very weird movie, but just the way it's constructed within the writing, directing, and very great acting, especially by Catherine Keener, Cameron Diaz, and John Cusack, the lead stars, and Mr. John Malkovich, of course. This is a great movie. If you haven't seen it already, do yourself a favor and see it right now. Ted Silva. Next Criterion Blu-ray, which is one that I blind bought, still haven't seen yet, that is Jacques Tati's Playtime. This is a French, nearly wordless comedy back from the very early 60s, if I'm right. It's a comedy that deals with the confusion of the evolution of technology and has a lot of very sprawling set pieces and art direction, and that was one reason why this movie had a very long and tumultuous production, because of the many sets that it had built and the fact that it took so long to get the movie going. I'm really looking forward to when I finally watch this, because I heard many great things about this film, and I always love movies that look great, especially when it comes to the sets themselves. I've seen a trailer for this movie, and it already looks like spellbinding, of course, so I'm definitely looking forward to this, and if you follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and so forth, you'll find out my thoughts about it within a week or 2 or so. Next up is probably my favorite Criterion that I have purchased. It's one that I haven't seen yet. It's another one of those blind buys. Basically, let me tell you all, you guys, I blind buy nearly every Criterion that I purchased, but this is one that I'm really looking forward to watching, especially for the packaging and all the stuff that you get with it. It's one of my friend Ronet's favorite movies, he said, and that is Dazed and Confused. This is something I haven't watched yet, but the fact that it's set in the 70s, I've even looked up for the soundtrack for this movie. So many bands that I love from that decade. I mean, it's so relentless how many there are. But I really love coming-of-age, hangout comedies most of the time, especially American Graffiti, which is my favorite of those, but this could have a chance at toppling that. I'm really looking forward to when I finally watch this, because Richard Linklater is a very underrated director from the stuff that I have seen of his. So I'm really looking forward to seeing this movie, and as I said, I love coming-of-age comedies, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing this movie. I've run out of things to say. I'm a lifeless nobody now. Now moving on to the rest of the stuff that I have, which are the DVDs, and the first one I picked up was the collector's edition of Red Dawn, which is one of my favorite movies from the 1980s. It has a great cast: Patrick Swayze, Charlie Sheen, Powers Booth, Jennifer Grey, Leah Thompson. It has a lot of famous names. I think Harry Dean Stanton is also in this movie as well. Now, this is a pure 80s movie, though. It has the cheese, it has over-the-top action, and so much more, but just the way it's conceived, and also the fact that it was one of those few movies that had the balls to take the Cold War setting and thrust it into a movie reality sense. It really works well for this film, but yes, as I said, it is very 80s. That's what's going to turn people off. But the acting is pretty good, the action is decent, and if you are an 80s movie lover, I'm sure you've seen this movie already. It's actually got a remake coming out later this fall that has been on the shelf for a while, but that's because of the MGM struggles that happened a while ago. That's one of the few remakes that I'm looking forward to, because even when you watch this, and if you like it, you can see so many things that are dated in it. So it's about time that a movie like this did kind of get a renewal in this day and generation. So that's one of the few remakes that I'm looking forward to, but as I said before, if you haven't seen the original, give it a look, but if you're not a fan of 80s movies, you might as well just leave it to the side then. But this is one of my favorite 80s movies, as I said before. It's a very enjoyable watch, so check it out if you must. Next up, to show The Kid in Me, I ended up picking up 2 animated movies on DVD, one that I have not seen yet, but the other I think is one of the most underrated animated films of the last decade or so, and that is Surf's Up and Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Surf's Up is one of those few animated movies that is a very underrated gem, because it did so many things that not many other animated movies have done. This movie is a parody of surfing documentaries, but it's also a satire on the cynical nature of professional sports. And the way all of those are constructed in this, especially for the fact that nearly every shot in this movie is filmed like it's a documentary, and I really love that because that added on a lot of originality and innovation to the animation genre. The voice cast cast is great in this. You have Jeff Bridges, Zoe Deschanel, John Heder, Shia LaBeouf in the lead role. You can tell it's Shia LaBeouf because he's going, no, 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 no. And you say that so many times you get a migraine from doing that. Surprised he can go through with it. But back to Surf's Up. This is one of my favorite animated movies because it did so many things that not many other animated movies really do. It has a lot of good moments of humor in it, but it's also the themes that it carries on throughout the movie within the parody of surfing documentaries and the cynical nature of sports is what really makes this movie stand out from others. Really enjoyed this movie a lot. I could never get bored watching this, so you could definitely check this out sometime. Now, Claudia with the Chance of Meatballs, on the other hand, I have not watched yet. I've had so many friends that just rave to death about how underrated and different that this movie is. It has a great voice cast, I'll give it that. Bill Hader, Anna Faris, Mr. T, James Caan, Bruce Campbell, and so many more. I'm really looking forward to watching this. For some reason, I've never really gotten around to watching it yet. So, once again, if you follow me on Facebook or Twitter, I'll have my reaction post to it at some point. I'm really looking forward to when I finally sit down and watch this because of all the great things I heard about it. So yeah, Claudia with the Chance of Meatballs. And the last DVD I have to show for you guys is a TV show. It's one that I've quickly gotten into, watching over half of the episodes that are on it. The third season, actually no, fourth season premieres in June. I'm really looking forward to finally finishing this off and also starting to watch it live on TV. And that is Adult Swim's Children's Hospital. Essentially, this show is a parody of medical dramas such as Grey's Anatomy, ER, and so many more, in which it has a very absurdist sense of humor and very weird at times too. This is a show that's definitely not for everyone because of how weird and juvenile that it gets sometimes, but for the way that the humor is executed in the show and the fact that you have so many great underground comedic actors starring in this, they all do a great job. And I really like the cast in this. There's Rob Corddry, Lake Bell, Aaron Hayes, Ken Marino, who's one of the best underground comedians in the business without a doubt. I love everything that guy does. It's a show that may be hard for some people to get into, but I absolutely love it. I have a lot of friends that really dig it as well. I can't wait to see the fourth season for the show as well when it premieres in June because that'll be my first time watching it live. And this is complete first and second season if I haven't said before. I can't wait to watch the third season, but if you don't want to buy this at the same time, you can watch nearly every episode on YouTube. They're all posted there. But as I said, if you really want to see a show that does a great job at taking jabs at medical dramas and just lampooning them to such immensely absurd degrees, definitely check out Children's Hospital. So those are all the Blu-rays and DVDs I have to show off for you guys. As usual, I'm going to try to make these videos at least once a month and so forth. It really depends on the money that I have at the time and also for the releases that I'm interested in buying. Also, my special review that I had planned for Thursday is going to get pushed a few days because I got screening passes to Men in Black 3, which I'll be seeing Thursday night, so the review will possibly be out by then. So in the meantime, Tower from Cali Creek Reviews, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.